it's Rose. I'm the creative guide here at Wild Rose Bohemian. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so happy you're here. If you're new, welcome. Welcome to the tribe. And if you're part of the tribe already and been following for a while, we appreciate your support so much. I'm here to show you a little bit about what's happening in May for the channel and for Wild Rose Bohemian in general. Had a difficult time getting here. It's May 4th and I've just barely finished up actually the 18, oh no, I can't even remember the numbers. 1879, oh heck, whatever, the Versailles kit and the French blue Paris. We're doing a 180-degree turn this month and we're switching over to Bohemian. That will be happening all month. I am actually really excited because I think one of my very favorite things I've ever created is actually the Sovereign Dreams collection. And the Sovereign Dreams has remained unfinished, about 3 or 4 listings that go with it. It's a huge listing, a huge undertaking, and I won't show you every page of this, but I have this journal to finish. And I think I'm going to work a lot in this journal, although we're going to be telling a story and some other things. I'm going to be working in this journal, mostly because what I wanted to show you about this journal is the spine. So I've tried a couple different spines lately, and I'm going to reiterate anything I've ever said anywhere else. I prefer this 1,000%, and let me just tell you why. So, this journal has, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I've split this one up into it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've actually got 6 signatures in here, and partly I've covered up the spine here, but I wanted you to see that the reason I'm talking about this spine is because it's my favorite kind, and so that's what I'm going to be doing with the journal this month. Is one of the videos, the very first one probably after this, is I'm going to show you how to do that type of binding. And it's my favorite kind because what you can do, one thing Cheryl likes to do is to sew hers together, and I probably will do that, but I love that what I can do is take out the signature pages, and you know, if I make a mistake I can replace it very easily. But I like to work flat, and I get really frustrated when I'm working in my journal and it's so big that I can't get the pages to lay flat. I love this, by the way. So that's the kind of binding that we're going to be learning this month. That'll be one of the very first things that I show on the channel. And then the next thing I want to just talk to you about is that just because I'm telling you that it's Bohemian, I'm going to really challenge you to stay with me, because there's a lot going on, and a lot of it would apply to vintage and grunge. So this month is historical in nature, and the offerings are really versatile. So you can go way in almost every direction with what I've put together for you. So let me just talk a little bit about what is offered on the Freya Friday freebie, which is free to everyone. There is a really remarkable freebie, and it's called the Floral Boho, and I don't think I printed up any of the pages to use it, but I would grab that if you're a boho girl. It will also work with vintage, and it's really a beautiful paper that came out on Friday. I'll put a link in the description box below, so make sure you grab that. And remember that on Fridays we have the Freya Friday freebie that comes out every Friday. It's free to everyone, no membership required, but we rotate them, and they're only on the site for about 6 weeks, because each Friday as one comes out, we release another one. For now, I want to talk a little bit about the membership, because the membership is really my bread and butter, and it's really what I'm hoping to grow, because I'm really trying to support myself doing this, and it's really challenging right now for me to do that. And I actually, because I'm disabled, I actually don't have another way of earning money. So I'm hoping that this dream of mine to be on my own is something that I can sustain, and I need your help to do that. So the coffee site, let me tell you why it's really a remarkable thing. You can cancel at any time. But the main gift that the Bohemians get, so that's the most basic level, entry level. You get this filled notes journal this month. Let's see, shall I clear this? If I do that, I'm going to mess up my order. You get this filled notes journal, and you'll see that it's really versatile. It would go with grunge, it would go with vintage, and you could make a really thick journal, or you could just make a little insert that's going to go in your journal. That's what I'm going to do here. But this is the cover, and I've backed this onto cardboard because later in this video I'm going to show you how to put this together, so stay tuned. I've also cut out these pages, and I backed them with the paper that comes with it, the backing paper. This is 17 pages, and they're just the blank pages to create a basic journal. Okay. Even if what you wanted to do is not even make a filled notes journal, I'll tell you how you can do that too. There's 2 pages in here that are blank. One of them is a lined page. Let's see if I can see that here. And then there's a blank page. So you could just use these 2 pages in any journal if you're not wanting to do a filled notes journal. I would still grab this as a Bohemian member. All members get this, but you get the cover, and then you also get a sheet that has, this is if you want to do a spine, so you can put these together to do a single or a double or even a triple or however many signatures. Some people really enjoy this type of journal. So and then it comes with these pieces that I've cut and put on cardboard right here. Show those. That go to make a closure. So that's what the Bohemian level, there's that gift for you. And then there's another gift of paper that is this paper here. I didn't print it all up, I just printed small parts because I want to talk to you about how I printed up the kit to make this other part of the journal. So this is the paper here. Let's see that. I think it's called Boho Amber Collage. It's actually gorgeous, for real. Maybe I'm biased, but I love the coloring in it, and each page is uniquely different. I've added like handwriting to it and some other things on top of the paper that I made, and so that's what that looks like. Actually, let me check. Hold on. Yep, I lied. I knew I did. Okay, this is actually a Thankful Thursday that comes out this week on May 8th. So it's the Boho Amber Collage. That's what this paper is here. So I actually did lie. I'm so sorry. I wondered about that when I said that. I didn't know how I arranged it. The freebie is actually this one here, which is the Vardo Sanctuary, and it is just basically pages that I've printed my kit up, where I've printed 2 to a page here, and this one I printed up 4 to a page. On the opposite side I printed the other, this is part of the Creatives Gifts, which I'll show you. But the bigger, that one that is the Vardo Sanctuary, it looks like this right here. So that's the other Bohemian gift. So I actually gave you 2 gifts this month, which is twice the amount. And that's 1.5 listings basically. So you're getting a listing, which is, the membership is priced right at what a listing is, but then you get all the Thankful Thursdays and all the other membership gifts that go along with it. So I think the membership is really a great way to go if you thought you might just buy 1 paper a month. And if you join and you don't think it's worth it, you let me know. I'm happy to refund your money, and Yeah, really I am. I think it's a steal, frankly, but okay, so that's 2 gifts for the Bohemian level. Let me just show you that boho amber collage. I also printed up. I used it. See if this helps. That's the Thankful Thursday this Thursday. I printed these up to back to make some cards with because I just thought it was so beautiful. It had to be the one I chose to give away for the Thankful Thursday. Okay, this is also the Bardo Sanctuary. That gives you a better overview of kind of what that looks like. That's the other gift. And you can see that this may not necessarily have to be boho, because this one could go, I think, with a vintage journal too. So the paper is really beautiful. Both of those could lend to go either way. So let's move on to the tribe membership. The tribe membership, I'm going to take just a second. I didn't print it up, so what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to just show you on the computer what it looks like so you have a brief overview of it. Okay, so that is the field note journal itself. You get 17 pages if you're on the Bohemian level of the actual journal portion. And then if you're on the tribe portion, you get another 27 pages of ephemera and slides. And remember, they're just really all this kind of grungy look. Okay, so there'll be freebies that come out that match with that kit. Okay, the next thing is the creatives level, which is I'm excited about this girl because I'm also telling a story. And if you haven't noticed yet, I started a few of the blog posts. I wrote a story this month that goes along with some papers that are going to come out. So this one's called Her Heart. And this is a girl here. And I just want to explain. So I printed, when I gift you a paper, note that you don't have to make it your whole journal. So like this one, what I'm going to do is I'll probably put these together. I'll show you some more unique ways to use it. But see, I printed this 4 to a page with the sanctuary on the back. There's a lot of things I can do with this. I think I showed a lot of that in the last month. So remember that, you know, if I don't show you how to do everything on a particular kit, I've showed how to do something with, you know, this size of thing on my channel a couple of times. Same with these. This one's printed up 2 per page. I think she's really, okay, she's kind of more into magic, but if that was something that you're like, no, that's not really me, do you know what? I give you the half pages, so that the half pages, you could just print up the kitchen, the art studio, the camper, the little nook, right? So a lot of these, like her, could go towards other genres. I just wanted to show you that. So I've printed some up. This is a little bit bigger size. I've chosen a couple of them to print up bigger. This is her. It's called Her Heart, and the idea is that this girl, she's a young girl, 27. Oh my gosh, I think young. Yeah, I think 27 is young. She goes to spend the summer with her grandmother, and her grandmother lives in Alberta, Canada, near a lake, and a lake called Ghost Lake, and she finds this abandoned gypsy caravan on her grandmother's property, and inside of the trunk that's in the caravan, she finds a journal, and that journal is what is on the blog that's coming out. So I think there's 2 or 3, maybe 4 posts that have come now that you'll see. It's the story of Nushaba, and yeah, Nushaba has her own line. I'll show you Nushaba in a second, but I wanted to show you that. So this girl here, I'm doing her journal. So this is kind of some of the other paper kits that come along that are available. So I printed up a lot of just basic pages of them so that you can kind of see what they look like. So if you really want to go boho deep, you could. That's why I printed these up, to show you some of these. I think they're just gorgeous papers, by the way. But let's see. Those are some of the blanks. That's why I didn't show you that one. Yeah, I don't need to show you a lot of them. They're all completely different. That's like the art studio. Okay, so the idea is she restores the Vardo this summer. Part of why it's called Barefoot Bohemian Summer. But I wanted to appeal to all age groups because my kids, my daughter, who's about her age, and my grandchildren also have been following along and doing things with the journaling. And I'm really actually kind of getting excited that some of the younger generation is enjoying this crafting. So let me just show you one other thing with that. I printed that kit up, so I showed you 2. I also did to do some collage strips. If you like collage strips, there's a really great video I just put out on those. That's what I'll be using those for. Okay, there's a couple other gifts that are coming for the creatives, and of course, there's the other memberships. I'm not even going to go there because I didn't want to spend the whole time on the membership stuff. I really actually want to show you the journal and the freebie, because I appreciate your time. And I think if that stuff wasn't enough there, I don't know, it might not, it's okay if it doesn't interest you. I'm really okay with that. But if it does, I think that's plenty, because you get a lot and then there's more. So I want to show you, I'm going to put this together, but I'm also using a Sovereign freebie. So I want to mention to you that I have these Sovereign freebies on my site, and I get messaged all the time. People are upset because they're not, if they have to go to someone's website to get a password, it's not free. This is true. It does cost you some effort and some time, and the only reason that I created these, one is because I wanted to find a creative way to gift you again, but I also really want to support my design team. And this month it's Sophie she's creating the field journal. She's going to be working with a basic kit, and that's what the Bohemian and the tribe level get together, both of those kits. You can purchase them on Etsy too, if you would like, or on Coffee, either one. But she has a freebie, and I'm going to be using some of her freebie, so I want to show that real quick, and then we'll show how I put the journal together. So it comes with a page of fussy cuts, and the thing is that this page is twice in there. One of them has the outline, and then the other one doesn't have this side edge, and it doesn't have the outline on it either, because I've been trying to learn how to print on transparency paper. If I get that down, I will show you and give you a video on it. So far as yet, I have not. I've tried 3 or 4 times and I have not been successful at printing on the transparency paper that I purchased. But if you're good at it, there is that one, and will print on parchment paper. So that's why there's 2 of those in there. There's also this page here, and I've cut part of the pieces out and put them on cardboard. I'll show those in a second. There's this page here. So this is the Ghost River Valley. This is the river, and it flows into the bigger lake. And this here is, I just figured I might have chosen to put this on the inside cover, and I may just make this a, you know, like an interior cover page or something. I'm not sure. I should have reversed those. I'll have to think about that. We'll see. I may cut these out. I'm not sure. But it comes with that page, and then it comes with a background page, which I printed on the back. And then Sophie's freebie comes with the inner cover that doesn't have any words on it. So if you just want a freebie, you can get the cover and make a journal, nice leather journal with the freebies that come with it, because you also get pockets. So I've cut the pockets out, but you get a page of pockets. So I don't know if you can see this. Let's see. So I've got these 2 pockets, and then these 2 pockets that are going to, for me, I'm going to put them on the inside, but you could put them anywhere in the journal. They'll go with the journal. So that freebie also has some wild roses and a couple other medallions. This is New Shaba. So the paper that's coming out, there's tons of fussy cuts of her, and oh my gosh, probably the favorite fussy cuts I've done so far. I actually have been able to like imitate the chromolithographic feel of the Victorian die cuts. Those are actually my favorite scrapbooking items. So it's taken me all month. This month I have worked so hard for you guys. Anyways, this is New Shaba. So you can get a free thing if you want to make a little thing to go inside of a journal that prints up, because her story you'll be able to print up her story for free too, which I thought maybe would be nice if you wanted to put it in this journal. The freebies will just make a small journal that'll have this leather bound thing, and then you can put her story in the inside and the other freebies. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to pause the camera and I'm going to cut these out. I put this is the closure that came with this piece here is the closure that came with the journal page kit. And I've backed it. Okay, so I'm going to cut these out and I'll be right back and we'll put this journal together. Okay, I've got the pieces, some of the more of the pieces cut out anyway. So what I wanted to do is just mention to you, I don't recall if I mentioned it before, but I really feel like it's important to talk to you about paper very quickly. I use the premium, the Epson presentation paper. This is not the premium. This is the regular presentation paper. It only is one-sided, but I love the feel of it. I needed to use some up, and I wanted it to feel like a notebook. So that is the one. Let's see. I want to show you the difference really quick here. Okay, so there's a premium, and then there's just a regular presentation paper. The premium is thicker. It's what I printed this on, and what I usually print my journal pages on is the premium. It is 48 pound, and there's 50 sheets for about $10 on Amazon. But I used this because I needed to use some of it up. But this year, this presentation paper it feels more a little bit like the weight of copy paper, and it's just 27 pound. You get 100 sheets for the same price as the other one. So if you wanted to use this for your journal pages, it's half as much, it's just not as thick. So it's a preference, and it only is one-sided. That's the thing I don't necessarily like if it's a vibrant kit. So just wanted to share that. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put this together here. I haven't done anything except for print this and then glue it to a piece of cardboard. And I'm going to go ahead and right here I'm going to make a score, and I'm going to fold it. Okay. So just want to get started here on the journal. So I put this on some cardboard. I put it on the cardboard that came with the paper. And then this here is just single-sided. Remember, this inner page comes with Sophie's Sovereign Freebie. So if you want the one that's the blank, it does not come in the Bohemian or in the journal kit itself. So I'm going to put plenty of that on. I'm just going to spread it out. Probably could put more, but it's just paper on cardboard. There's no okay. I'm going to grab my bone folder. It's covered in glitter. My granddaughter was here for a couple of days and she was really going after the Carnival kit. She saw Cheryl's video and just loved it, and so she was working on creating a journal, but she covered everything in glitter, so a lot of my tools are covered in glitter. Kind of funny. Okay, now I'm going to score this part here. And I probably should score from this side, since this is the side we're going to see, in case they don't quite match there. Ooh. Okay, this is going to be challenging. This cardboard's a little thick, so I'm having to kind of gently work it here. Kind of crunching up the edge of the notebook a little bit too, which will be fun because of the way that we can ink it. It'll help it to look aged. So I'm basically going to cut all of the spare edges and trim it up a little bit to kind of look, you know, like not perfect and aged, like it's been in a trunk for a little while. This is going to be a really great opportunity if you like to sew. You can sew your pockets on. I'm not someone that likes to sew. I thought I would. I got a sewing machine. I love to sew in like real, I don't want to say real things, but with sew fabric, or used to sew a lot. Patterns, clothes for my daughter. But I just did not like how I just didn't have enough space really to keep it out all the time. But if you were going to sew, what I would do is at this point sew your journal pieces together. So you can make a choice here. And one of the things that I would make a choice about, let's see. So the freebie, I didn't show you this part, comes with a map. And I want to be able to tuck the map in, but I think, oh, it'll work. Okay, so I was either going to put the map on the back, but I'm going to be able to cut it and tuck it in here. So just, you don't have to use all the pockets, but I am going to, at this point, put this one down, and I think, yeah, I probably will put them in here. But this would look really, really super cute with the sewing. So I'm also looking at this side where I've got some white to trim away. I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to grab my ink. I'm going to really ink my edges so that I get this looking nice and grungy. Okay, and I've got to consider which piece I want to use as my front cover. Because I'm just going to use Velcro, but I'm going to use this on the outside, and that's why I put this on cardboard. Okay, so I'm going to be right back. I'm inking these and this, and I'll be right back. So I'm going to share here. So see how this is? Don't worry about that because it ends up being covered up anyway. So don't spend a ton of time fretting about that, okay? Thought I'd show you before I actually ink. I'm going to notch my pockets, and so to kind of get them even in as far as like the randomness of where I'm put it back to back, and they kind of end up evenly spaced from the edge there. I'm going to do the same thing with this here so that the notches match. It's easier than me trying to figure out how to get them perfectly aligned in the center. It's just a trick. I should also mention that I was using Vintage Photo, and I felt like this was dark enough that it actually, I ended up switching to just my black soot. And I did that because I really wanted you to be able to tell where the edges, since I'm not sewing, the edges of this, the pockets are. So I thought I'd mention that. And so my plan with this journal is to make a smaller one. I'm just going to do one signature. But I think that if you're just someone that really enjoys the field notes, especially if it's, you know, like around where you live, if I haven't included plants that you would like or items that you might like, let me know so that as I do my freebies, I can include, you know, some requests. You can put the requests either on the video probably. Okay, I've got everything inked here, these, and my signature, I've got that ready to go here. I couldn't decide whether to put this one in the center or to put this one on this side. I went ahead and decided that what I'm going to do is put an add-on of an extra page. It'll just be on the website. It probably won't be in the freebie. It may be attached to a blog, but my initial intention was that this could be glued in the inside of the cover, but then I decided I wanted pockets, so I think that this actually would look better reversed. So I'm going to offer a reversed version, which is this on this side and this on this side, so that when you have a signature, you can have this as the cover page on the inside. So look for that. But I think for now, we'll just do it like that. I'm going to go ahead and put these together, and I'm going to show you really quick the quick pamphlet stitch. I'm going to show you this. So another option, I think it would work just fine, but I want to show the pamphlet stitch, is to staple it. I have this really long arm stapler for when I used to make notebooks, but you could go in Corel and staple it together if you wanted to. This has a guide, so you can get it right. You could staple it. It's thin enough that you could. That's an option. But I want to show you the pamphlet stitch really quick, especially if you're a beginner. So I get this where I want, and I'm going to add my clips. So you'll need some of these bulldog clips each side. Make sure that your signatures are the order that you want. Double check that a couple of times. The order that you want, the orientation that you want, everything that you want before you put this together. So frustrating. I have before not done that, and then sewn everything together and realized that I have some of the pages out of order or not in the right way that I wanted to do that. Forgive my hands being so dirty. They're from inking, and I have not paused to clean them while I'm working, because I'm probably just going to get more. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do here, oops, I'm focused right here on this area, and I may need to move these out probably. Let's see. Do that one by one. Just, I really wanted to make sure I got that tight in there, and now I can kind of adjust. You do not need to use the tool that I have, but I'm going to use it because it makes it easier for me to get things straight. I use this tool from We Are Memory Keepers to make the holes, but I think that you could easily do it. I've watched, like Lady Owl, she does it without, but I am not that good. So basically on this, you center this, and it holds your pages down for you while you poke the hole. And let's see. Oh, that's missing. What happens when you have grandchildren come. Okay, so I'm gonna do, just gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go. And remember, I'm just gonna remember where that is for my, let's see. I actually probably won't do my cover this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna punch the hole, and then I pick one about center. If you're picky, then you know, count it out perfectly. I think I got pretty close, but you use that to punch a hole, and then so you can see I've got 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to center this where I want and go through my existing hole. And poke through, making sure I'm getting into that corner there. I'm using some bookbinding thread and a needle. My eyesight is so poor, I need to use a little threader. I'll thread it off camera, but this is the stuff that I use. I got a little bookbinding kit off of Amazon, and they're not very much. You might just have these things lying around. So let me show you. I'm going to use about 3 times the length of my spine into, and I'm guessing right now, but let's see how well I did. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's plenty. So make sure you have at least that much doubled. So 6 times altogether. This is a design choice. If you come in from this side, you're going to have a dangle. Some people like to add a charm or something like that that hangs out of the journal. I'm going to have a preference where I'm going to start on the outside because I'm going to end up on the outside. And let's see. Yeah, easier to start that way and then just so I'm going to go through making sure that I have left a considerable amount hanging off. Oops, I apologize. I'm going to start down at the bottom actually. Where are we? And I'd say it actually doesn't really matter. I guess some people are very particular about things. So kind of come in through the back, go down through the center. Some people might have clipped their signature in, but when I do that, it makes it so that I can't see what I'm doing, and my eyesight is not that great. So you can see I've gone in here, come out here, okay? And I'm gonna actually oh my goodness. I have to make that hole a little bit bigger. This is why I don't put it together, because it makes it more difficult for me anyway. And it's really not as difficult as I'm making it look, I swear. It's actually a very easy part of journal making, but it can be one of the most intimidating. So you can see I've gone in here, come out here, gone in here. Okay, now on this side, I'm going to do my very best right now to pull it tight. And this is the point right here, right now, where I can switch these, because I've gone through all the holes. Okay. I'm going to go back in there. And then I'm just going to tie this on this outside here. Oops. Oh, I don't want that. What I just did was make it a little bit bigger knot and catch my knot in my So just want to show you here. I'm going to actually add something to this spine to hide it. And I'm going to add a little bit of reinforcement tape. I should probably use my Echo Craft tape. Okay, I don't see it really quick, so I'm just gonna, I want to put a little bit of, this will be covered up, but I'm just putting it on the holes, kind of as reinforcement. This is that medical tape, so you can use medical tape, you could use a little bit of glue. You can skip this step if you want. For me, I just like to reinforce that as I work the journal. That, let me show you, I'm going to actually use this on the outside. I'm going to use a little bit of this, and I've got the inside of the extra spine. Totally optional to do it this way. I just decided I was going to use the spine. So one thing I want to mention to you is that at this point you can see you've got a really cute little vintage notebook. This would be fun for the summer to put slides or flowers or pressed flowers in. Have to rub that off after. My glue leaked a little bit. I don't love that. So usually what I can do is rub it off when it's completely dry, so I'll wait and do that. I'm just gonna trim this edge up. It needs a little ink. And I don't really need a closure, so I haven't decided if I want one, because this is going to be going in another journal, or tucked in at least with, wrapped with another journal. So and if you want more of these type of things, then on the back, you know, you can not use the paper that's included, just print the other side of the paper on that side, and then you won't have the blank pages. I just really wanted the blank pages too, so that's how that turned out. I'm gonna add the pockets now. And put my pockets together first. And I'm actually not going to use Fabri-Tac for that. I'm going to use art glitter glue. Yep. We're good. Maybe not. It's okay. I should probably be using my one with a little bit thinner tip. Maybe, yep, there we go. So if you use a thinner tip instead of the thicker tip, then you can be more precise with a much smaller amount of glue. And it's actually my preferred glue tip when I'm putting pockets and ephemera together. It's not absolutely necessary, but so now I'm gonna glue down the whole pocket. So let me tell you a little bit about Nushaba, because I'm going to end up putting her stuff in this journal. This is, for me, I use this field guide as part of her story, because her story does have information about the field guide stuff that happens in the story. This is her. I'm not sure if I'll kind of put her there, but she definitely needs a decoration. So the story of Nushaba is one of a woman that has traveled from Romania, where she's from, to I'm not sure. I'll leave the decorating. She's traveled to come and find her people. The long and the short of her story is that her ancestors, one half of her ancestors are from this region here in Alberta. They're Indigenous people called the Nakota. Sometimes people know them as the Stony. That's the more popular term that is used, but the Nakota people are from this region and have lived in this region of Alberta for many, many hundreds of years. This is where her her grandmother came from, and her grandmother met her grandfather, who was from Romania, when he was doing exploring and ended up returning to Romania to have Nushaba's mother. And so Nushaba's kind of, the storyline is a lot about her journey, her decision to get there, what happens to her. And someone asked me if it was my story, and I'll head you off right now. There is a lot of my story in that writing, in that journal, but it is not completely my story, because it's been very important to me. I feel very strongly about my feminine lineage, and as a grandmother, I'm actually telling the story of several of my grandmothers woven together. And let's see, I need to trim that a little bit. I'm telling the story of several of my grandmothers. I'm telling my story. I'm also telling my mother's story. And I'm also telling some of my daughter's story and my granddaughter's story, and even my sister's story. And my sister is a very painful subject for me. She's chosen not to participate in our lives. Though I have no idea why, I trust that was the best decision for her in how she's conducting herself in her life. I always send her love, but I'm telling her story too, because some of the elements of Nushaba's story speak to some of her experiences. And I think it's important to tell stories, and even if they don't completely 100% represent history, I think that they tell the essence of the story. So it was important to tell everybody's story. So I'm kind of trying to do that with this little journal and book. My sister and I, when we were kids, we used to go to this summer village there near this area. And so I have a lot of good memories of that, of being a kid there. Okay, so this is pretty much done, and I could leave it at that, but I do want to show you, I decided I should show you how to do a closure on this in case you want to use the closure pieces. So let's do that. These are the pieces that I've got for the journal closure, and I probably will use this. I will probably do it off camera. This is really going to bug me. The glue is going to bug me. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is make sure that your pieces are glued really well together, that they're inked. They look best inked. And pick one side to be the one that is the one that looks like the belt. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this tool to punch some holes. If you have a hole punch that will punch the holes, I would do that. Just not seeing my awl offhand. Bend it. Hole punch would do fine too. I'm just doing this so it looks like a more realistic belt. I think punching the holes helps. So the end that has the holes in it, I'll probably do it after, not now, but these holes will pop more if they're inked. So what you're going to do is, first of all, I am going to pick, I think, yeah, right in the center here. Oh, there's more glue on it. That's too bad. Right about in the center, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, this half on the back in the center. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. I'm putting it down a little bit lower. I am also, let's see, should put that there. Put quite a bit of Fabri-Tac on there to glue the buckle on. Now on this side, bend it where it comes around. I'm going to cut this end off so that it's, and make sure I ink it up. I am not loving that this paper is tearing. So on the back side here, we're going to make sure that these match. Really watch where you put your glue, guys. Look, and it's going to take me a little bit to get that off, and I may not be able to. So be careful. Okay, so I'm just making it meet here. And these edges here, they kind of look like it's like a little stitched something that's there. But before it dries completely, make sure that your stuff matches, like as far as coming across here. And now we're just going to add some Velcro, and I'm going to show you how I put some ink in the holes. Okay, I've got one of those, this is pretty sticky, the Velcro closures that has both of those on there. So I'm just going to hold that in my hand while I do the inking. And now I have a Q-tip, and I'm just going to, like, that didn't work very well. Don't be so precise with the black. That's the problem I did, so I'm going to have to kind of might do it from this side too, because I can kind of see the paper through. And that's what I'm wanting to avoid, any areas of white. Let's see. Still a little bit. I may work with it off camera, but I'm going to apply my Velcro probably right about here. I'm going to get it as far over as I can. I'm going to leave a little bit of room in case this journal grows. And then just press those down. So that'd be my Phil Notes journal. Lots of embellishments, lots of fun things that are going to probably go along with this journey. So, oops, I think I'll probably glue this down. That's optional, but I think I'll glue that down. Less things to get ruined, so that'll dry. So thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me this here. Make sure you grab Sophie's freebie. I'm not sure when her video will air Monday. This should be out the night before. This should be out Sunday night, I think, hopefully. If not, you'll know about this after Sophie's aired it. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you make one of these, and I really hope you follow along at least this month the story of Nushaba. That'll be kind of fun. You could make a journal with her story inside of it, and there'll be lots of freebies that'll go along. So thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate you. Have a good day. Hope to see you in the next video.